What is up, everybody, and welcome to the show. I am your host, the Saint. This is the Wrestling Wire. So how's everybody doing out there in the World Wide Weberland? We are trying to get situated. Still, been a hectic day, but overall, it is what it is. It's another day on top soil, so it's another good day to be here. Oh, Christ, comments coming in already. What is up, Thomas Scott? How you doing, sir? Not too much. About to talk about the WWE, the AEW. Ain't covering NWA because I haven't seen anything lately that they're doing. I'll bring up a couple of matches that I saw involving some of their talent. I'd already mentioned Camille versus Rachel Ellering. That all took place at the Gathering in Charlotte last weekend. Thomas Latimer went up against Nick Aldis. Good stuff. But at any rate, man, let's get this party going with Monday Night Raw. Anybody who's telling you that these shows aren't coming up, you're losing your marbles, because it's clear as day. Ray Charles could see that the product is improving. It is almost obvious that this is now the Hunter show. Oh man. So many different things being overlooked. Yet Bailey, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky challenging Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, and Asuka to a match at Clash at the Castle, as if I wasn't already interested and sold on watching that show. Now it's even more. Now I definitely want to see it. I've still got McIntyre beating Reigns for the strap there. Unless they're going to really have him hold it, beating McIntyre, beating Cross, and, waiting until WrestleMania versus Cody. Can that happen? Yeah. Should it happen? I don't know. According to some of the dirt sheets out there, as we like to call them, USA is not real thrilled with not having a main title on the show. Well, the main title of the show is the US title on the USA Network. See how that works? Then you got Fox with the Intercontinental title on, your local Fox network. That's the way I think it should be, man. I think it should go that way. You should have your mid-card titles the primary point of your individual shows, and then when you go to your pay-per-views, that's when you get to see the world title, most important title, or the most prestigious title. That's how you make it more important. Having a champion defend every week on, that weekly episodic television show, to me, it doesn't put any more value on the show. It doesn't put any more value to the belt either. Are you really telling me that there are that many people who are qualified to hold that motherfucker? Because if that's what you're saying, then I'm still not with you, because I don't think there's that many people qualified to be world's heavyweight champion. That's kind of how I feel about that. Let's see here. Cross will win the belt. First off, you misspelled Cross. That's the other type of Cross that you're used to, not that Cross, which is not how his name's spelled. Isn't his name spelled with a K? I don't know. Dennis chimed in. What's up with you, bro? Don't know, just bullshitting about wrestling. Oh, man. But so we ended up with Dawkins, Angelo Dawkins, going on against, what's his face? Seth Rollins. Good shit there. It was a really good match. It was very well contested. And, you had to feel that Rollins was going to win this. I wouldn't have been able to realistically believe an overall beating by Dawkins. Now, if he had a squeaked one out, you're going up against a crafty veteran and you hit him with a fruit roll up, as Harry calls them, or you hit him with a roll up, or, some sort of schoolboy pin them, or, small package. That's logical. But having him beat with a finishing move and a clean 1, 2, 3, not buying that. Kevin Owens then absolutely destroyed Ezekiel. Ezekiel being carted off. I'm gonna guess he's written off TV, and now Elias will come back to avenge Ezekiel's bludgeoning. Damian Priest challenged Edge to a match in Toronto. I have a feeling that's going to be a freaking banger. Edge gets to appear and work in front of his hometown crowd. That place will sell out, and they will show up and show out on top of it. That's going to be good stuff. That's actually going to be a really good match. Priest is a fantastic worker. Edge is a very wise veteran in the industry. So, if nothing else, we can just expect a good time for us, the fans. Finn Balor versus Rey Mysterio. Balor, beating him. Obviously, it looked like how they, they're still playing this role with Dom and Rhea being a Dom, to Dominic being a sub. And if you caught that reference, good on you. If you didn't catch that reference, don't Google it. You don't want to know anyway. Then you had Dakota Kai and Io Sky defeating Dana Brooke and Tamina. All right, so they're just doing the piece them together tag teams for the ladies right now, but it's okay because you had to have you had to have bodies filling in this tag team tournament. I get it, we're fine, but you had Dakota and Io go over, and they're gonna make it. They're gonna make it to the finals or whatever level when they face off against Bliss and Asuka, and I can't see Bliss and Asuka winning it at all. I don't know why, but I have a hard time seeing them two as a tag team that actually matter and make a difference. They're doing the best with what they got right now, and that's fine. You're filling the void, pushing forward to the next storyline. It's a series of check marks, ladies and gentlemen. It's just a series of we go to this point, then we do this to this point, and next and next and next. It's a never ending cycle and circle of the greatest show on earth. So Bobby Lashley defeated Ciampa to retain the U.S. title. That was a great match. I wouldn't have been mad if Ciampa won. I'm not not at all. I am a huge Tommaso Ciampa fan. I believe that he's actually my favorite current active wrestler on the rosters of professional wrestling. Period. That's my guy. So I'm I dug the match. I thought it was a great match. I wouldn't have been bothered if he won. I'm not bothered that he lost to Lashley, who is a freaking freak. So Omos defeated two jobbers. Cool. We're over knowing how powerful the guy is. We don't care. I don't know what you're going to do with this guy for anybody to be invested in him. I think Triple H is going to let this go on a good bit to try to see if there's something he can do with him. And if there's not, then I have a feeling the big giant's going to be one of the first casualties of the Triple H era. Let's see here. You had Dolph Ziggler defeating Chad Gable. That was a fantastic matchup. So both of these guys, collegiate amateur wrestlers. Gable, an Olympian. If you didn't know what you were getting when you tuned this match in, you're living under a rock. It was going to be a lights out matchup from them two. Just when you have true athletes who can work the way that they can work, going at it in a ring, it's always going to be good shit. Anybody who doesn't know, I'd really like to see Lesnar versus Benjamin, but I'd like to see that where they're not allowing Brock to squash him, where they actually go out there and get down on it a bit, because that would be badass. AJ Styles defeating The Miz in a no DQ match. I'm kind of confused as to why they went this route. I didn't think that this feud had warranted this yet, but okay. Um, anytime you can get a little extra panache in there, a little extra pizzazz in the ring, I'm all about it. So down with that one. And that was it for Monday Night Raw. Now let's break down some individual parts of this. Earlier on in the night, when Kevin Owens was being interviewed on his way out the door, you noticed a wrecked car and people around it. Then later on in the show, Asuka and Alexa Bliss were being interviewed, and you saw the tow truck and stuff getting this thing. Now, I made the joke of, oh man, look, it's just that's Vince. That's Vince trying to get back there and stop Triple H from, making the show better. Obviously, that's not the case because at the end of the night, you had Dexter Loomis getting ejected from ringside. So a small little detail that was caught in the background, just very minute, was used throughout the whole show with a payoff at the end. Fan freaking tastic. Did you see how simple that was for them to bring somebody back like that? They didn't just have them come out as a surprise. They didn't just have them show up. They had this weird little detail the whole time. That's good shit. Very good shit. I enjoyed Monday Night Raw. I let's see here. Yeah, I actually made it through this week's. So another good show. All about it. Can't wait. Can't wait to see what they're gonna do next. But I think that's the thing. They keep leaving the hook at the end of every show. That's the hook to bring you to the next one. And they're doing it weekly now. Every week they're doing it. AEW Dynamite Quake by the Lake was the next show that they had. They were I don't understand all the little show names. I guess it's like a throwback to the indies for AEW because they're basically an indie show with money. But okay. Next, are they going to go, you know, overpower like that, just spelled out with an ass load of R's at the end of overpowered, or something like that? Or, oh, you know what? Summer sizzle, summer something. That you see what I mean? They're gonna have to do. It's it's an indie thing. It's an indie thing. It's weird. Thomas Scott said a lot of former NXT workers are getting very important parts now. Kudos. Hell yeah, they are. Um, let's see here. They had a coffin match. House of Black's Brody King versus Darby Allin, the human jackass. Oh wait, no. Professional wrestling's version of Jackass, right? Wouldn't that be more? Yeah, that's more him. Yeah, it's definitely more him now. Um, am I entertained? Sometimes, but when it's all the time, you become desensitized. So it's not gonna always pop me. It might pop other people, and I'm sure it does. But even my kids get there, sitting there looking at it, they're like, "Why did they do that? Why did they do this? Why did they do that? That doesn't make it. What kind of sense does this make?" When a 6-year-old and a 10-year-old are asking you what kind of sense it makes on a wrestling show, you may have something cooking for them. Or in their case, they may be cooking something else. Well, no, Tony doesn't cook. Excuse me. Let's see here. Tag team tornado match was next up with that. Oh wait, yeah. Darby. Um, let's see here. What was it? Who said this? Darby choked out Brody with Brody's steel chain. He let go of the chain and Brody collapsed, falling off the apron and into the coffin. So Darby won. Okay. Um, The tag team matchup was the Lucha Bros versus, which is Penta and Ray Phoenix, versus, I can't pronounce that, which is Andrade El Idolo and Roosh. So good on them for actually pulling up some talent from Ring of Honor and realizing the potential that some of those guys have. So I give them credit for that. Um, let's see. Andrade El Idolo hit Ray Phoenix with the Hammerlock DDT and pinned him. What match was truly unbelievable? What are we talking about? Are we talking about the coffin match or the tag match? Oh man. While I'm waiting on Thomas to answer that question, that he said he was talking about the Darby match. Yeah, I'll go with it was not believable, but unbelievable didn't if you're saying unbelievable as in it was not believable, I'll go with it. But if you're saying it was unbelievable as spectacular, it was. I can't go with that one. Didn't think it was a bad match by any stretch of the imagination. Don't get me wrong here. But as far as that's not my shtick on wrestling. I'm I don't miss the days of the the dark characters and the evil empires and fireballs and all this other. No, the Ministry of Darkness angle where they were just really nasty, badass people. Yes. NWO where they were just vile. Yes. Um, DX where they were just vulgar. Yes. I'm showing my age with this. Yes. I'm I'm a Generation X person, not a boomer, and I'm not into the new shit. I'm stuck in the '90s, '80s, '90s era. Oh, you're saying that was in a bad way? Yeah, I didn't enjoy it. I'm not gonna say it was a bad match, but I'm not gonna sit here and say that I thought it was, it made the show. Luchasaurus versus Anthony Henry. Oh well, I did miss the Young Bucks were backstage talking with the Hangman about the trios tournament. Guys, I think we're getting Kenny Omega back soon, so good job for AEW for getting him back. Let's see if that makes a bit of difference for them. I hope it will. If not, uh, will any of the other CEOs, COOs, VPs, whatever they are of AEW be leaving to go to another company? Um, it's just one of those things. It would have been edited out of my promotion. Oof. And you're a hardcore guy. See, that's the trick. Thomas Scott's an old school hardcore wrestler. So him chiming in on the Darby Allin match, talking about how bad it was, kind of has some weight. So it's not me with my opinions. It's other people that are also having sentiments about it. Like I say, I think Kenny Omega's on his way back. I have a feeling we're going to see him Wednesday. But is he ready? Is he not ready? I hope he's ready. For their sake, I hope he's ready. And for their sake, I hope CM Punk's ready. We'll talk more about CM Punk when we get to his segment at the end of AEW Dynamite. Um, let's see. Luchasaurus versus Anthony Henry with JD Drake. The blue collar badass was out there with Anthony Henry. Good on Anthony Henry on getting an AEW contract. Congratulations to him. I know he's worked the area and apparently he's a badass worker. So good for old boy. Um, let's see here. Anthony Henry landed a kick, but Luchasaurus headbutted Henry and finished him off with the fossilizer. So that means Luchasaurus won that. Christian Cage was backstage and insulted Jungle Boy. Security guards went back there. Luchasaurus hit Pat Buck, which I've even been told you're doing too much. I've even been told that. AEW, you're doing too much. Just every now and then, you just need to let the simple story make sense and tell your story, as opposed to being so convoluted with all these extras and additions and all this other shit getting involved. It's like, why? Um, the Redeemer Miro talking about House of Black. Oh, and to everybody said he did such great things in AEW since he's been there. I think he won at least one title in WWE, but I digress. He has won one AEW title. Yeah, I get that. But I think he won more in WWE, more than one. I don't remember. I've got really bad memory, CTE and all that. So yeah, I don't worry about that. But anyway, um, Mark Henry tried to interview Powerhouse Hobbs until QT Marshall and the factory interrupted him. Uh, Once again, you're trying to find a spot for everybody. Realistically, Mark Henry and Paul White could, you know, just go train, or if they want to be part of a show, they could be producers or whatever. But as far as on screen, do they need this? Are they wanting this, or are they wanting to be, kind of more in the background? What is it that they want to do? Because some of the stuff comes off forced if it just doesn't feel authentic to me. Um, let's see here. FTR and Jay Lethal and them got into it. And here's the bad part. I watched the show and I can't remember. I'm having to read the show results to recall what happened. I barely remember the match. Um, Ricky Starks versus Aaron Solo wasn't a bad matchup. I did think this one was pretty good. And the Jade Cargill versus Madison Rain match, I still am not a big time Jade fan, but she's making obvious improvements, so that's cool. Madison Rain's a phenomenal talent, so her work was great with her, and you could tell how they were making the match go and develop because she wasn't out to make her look bad. Then you have Athena jumping her, and that's just kind of how that went. You're gonna end up with Athena versus Jade Cargill, and I'm all for it. Let's see here. Ricky Starks, I'm a fan. He's a great worker. Yeah, he is. I think Ricky Starks is probably their next guy in my book. Also, want to say it was not believable at all. I'm all about David versus Goliath, but Darby Allin's no David, and he didn't have a higher power helping him. Fair enough. Well, he had Sting come out and help him, so Sting, being a legend, that's a higher power, right? The icon helped him. Interim world title match. John Moxley versus the Lionheart, Chris Jericho. This was great, minus the fact of I really don't see the point in everybody having to bleed every 5 minutes, but it's okay. It's like they can't go a week without it. Um, it almost makes you wonder if they know how to tell a story without the blood in it. I don't know. Um, don't get me wrong. Nope, nope, nope. Just not. It's not there. There's no way that you need to have blood every single week on every single show, and it's always on a title match. It's just weird to me. Um, but that was the end of Dynamite. Let's see here. What do we got? Not a huge fan of an interim heavyweight champion. Just do a tournament to crown a new champion. Well, so in their defense, what you have in other professional sports like UFC, MMA, boxing, things of that nature, you have what's called a lineal champion. So if the champion's unable to defend, either they couldn't make it, or they were sick, or they were injured, you have an interim crowned, and then you have the lineal champion. I kind of like that because it does give it more of a real sports feel. So I'm okay with it. I'm not against it. Not a bad show overall, but I didn't retain any of it. I guess was my issue there. Now, the following show I did not watch, but I heard a lot of good things. That Emergence was awesome. That was Impact Wrestling's Emergence on Friday night. I did not watch. No, I did watch their show Thursday, but I don't remember any of that either because nothing stuck out to me. See here. Well, you see, it could work a storyline when the heavyweight champion that was injured come back, which would make more sense. Well, they're still going that route. They're still going that route now with the interim and the lineal champion. They're going to, all out or all in or all Saints Day or whatever it is. I don't know. They're going to do that. Um, so as I said, I didn't watch any of this show. So realistically, I'm just going to give you the results of it, and call it a day. Uh, New knockout world champions Deonna Purrazzo and Chelsea Green. They beat Taya Valkyrie and Rosemary. Let's see here. You had X Division champion Mike Bailey defeat Jack Evans. Sammy Callahan versus Steve Macklin never even started. Violent by Design defeated Chris Sabin and Kushida. Bandito defeated Ray Horace in a Lucha Libre AAA attraction match. Let's see here. Sammy Callahan defeated Steve Macklin in a no DQ match. I was just sent a message that said breaking news. So let's see here. See what this is. Honor No More, which is Eddie Edwards, Mac Taven, and Mike Bennett, Vincent, and PCO defeated the Bullet Club in a no DQ. And if Honor No More loses, they must disband. So now they're not disbanding. Knockouts World Champion Jordan Grace versus Mia Yim. Jordan Grace retains, as she should. Impact World Title. Josh Alexander defeated Alex Shelley. Bro, I mean, look, the card was stacked. Everything looked good, but man, I was just so. I didn't have the ability to watch that one and watch SmackDown where I was currently located. So we're going with that. I don't know. I think AEW's garbage. I don't watch it, said Thomas Scott. Hey, man, look, everybody's got their opinion. There's a ton of it going on. Okay. One moment here. Interesting things here. Oh, they just don't have believable storylines. Not a fan. Hey, and that I agree with. The stories seem very convoluted, so therefore it's harder to follow. When you can follow independent shows who run once a month, easier than you can follow twice weekly, you have a problem. SmackDown Friday night. Let's see here. Now this one I did watch. The Usos ambushed Drew after a distraction by Scarlett. Oh. Okay. Uh, Very interesting piece of breaking news was just sent to me directly. And According to a message I just got, it says King Enterprises presents High Velocity Wrestling. The Asian sensation Michael King and the owner of High Velocity Wrestling, Gary Benfield, have reached a business agreement with details to follow. Huh. Hey, Gazi, I hope you heard what I just said, dude. King Enterprises presents High Velocity Wrestling. That's a whole new ball game for them. What is up, Gazi? How you doing, man? Let's see here. Oh, that is insanity. Um, today has sucked for me, honestly. Why is that? Thomas Scott said, "Gotta go. See you later." Take it easy, Thomas. You have a good one. Let's see here, man. Moving on into, we're going to talk about SmackDown. The Usos ambushed Drew after Scarlett, uh, distracted him. Kofi Kingston tried to blindside the Viking Raiders with a kendo stick and it backfired. Hit Row has returned. That is good shit. Getting to see Top Dollar, man. I like Top Dollar. I thought he was cool. I thought he was good on the mic. I like the backstage stuff he was doing. You could tell the guy was a fan and he had a passion for the business, which makes it more genuine when you're in the business. If you're not a fan of it and you're in it, it's hard to come off as authentic. He comes off as authentic and real. So I dig it, man. I like it. Ronda Rousey invaded the contract signing between Liv Morgan and Shayna Baszler, uh, which, as all contract signings, a table gets broken and somebody gets hurt. Drew McIntyre and Madcap Moss defeated the Usos. Kind of weird. Just a couple months ago, those two were at it, with Baron Corbin and shit. Gunther defeated Shinsuke Nakamura to retain the IC title. That match was fan freaking tastic. If you missed it, I'm sorry about your luck because that was badass and it was super worth it. If you get the chance to check it out, find a way to watch it. I'm grateful I got it on DVR because I had to go back and watch a couple pieces again. There was some concerning spots in there for me, so I was just like, "Ooh, I need to dial in on that and make sure that's okay." Then we had AEW Rampage, Quake by the Lake. And they were in Minneapolis. Okay. The American Dragon comes back. Bryan Danielson shows up for AEW Rampage. Now, Dynamite and Rampage are filmed on the same day at the same place, one after the other. By him coming out first, did it help you keep fans, or did you still lose the fans during the reset? That's thought one. Thought two. If you have all this dark and after dark and YouTube and all this other stuff, why don't you just have two shows independently running, independently booking, a place and put because Rampage is only an hour. So realistically, what you could do is you could do a Ring of Honor hour, AEW Dark hour, or AEW Dark Elevation or Dark Evolution or Evolution or whatever, then Rampage. You can do all three of those. That's 3 hours worth of content. Probably 3.5, 4 hours at the venue for the fans. That's not bad. You could also do one of those before Um, Dynamite, that's 3 hours. Instead of doing Dark or Dark Elevation or Dark and Dark Elevation and then Dynamite and then Rampage, it's like man, you're trying to put too much into one event. Your fans are dead by the end of that. Match cards, 5, 6 matches, you're good. 7 tops. I mean, really, you don't need to go that crazy with this. These companies out there that book, we got 13 matches and 7 title matches on the show today. For what? Why? Why do you need that much shit on one show? And it's even worse if you have title changes on every show. If we're trying to relay this back to the indies, you have title changes every show. It means you don't have a thought process on what to do with your champion. It's lazy. It's lazy booking. If you've got somebody you believe enough to put that belt on, that belt needs to stay there. Just my opinion, but what do I know? I'm a podcasting loudmouth asshole. So it is what it is. So Dragon came out, talked his trash about the kid Daniel Garcia or whatever, and now they're going to go at it. So that'll be fine. I think it's going to be a fun match, but Brian's going to kick his fucking teeth in. Sammy and Tay Guevara went up against Dante Martin and Sky Blue. I'm not a Sammy fan, but I am a fan of many other places. It is crazy. Or fuck did I just say? I'm not a Sammy fan, but I am a fan of Tay, Dante Martin, and Sky Blue. So I mean that at least made the match a little bit better for me. Sky was impressive in that. I'm kind of like, why are we dealing with? I wish they'd get rid of the stupid shit married angle, even though I guess that's the direction they wanted to go with that. But for all you people who are like, oh, it's a pure wrestling product, this is great. That is a fucking marriage storyline being used off a real marriage. That's lazy. So, in my book, that's lazy. We got another comment in here. Scott Larson, my brother from another mother saint. I agree. Tag team and 2 singles include the heavyweight champion. There we go. Yeah, on an indie show. I mean, there don't need to be that much shit. It really don't need to be that much, man. And add a women's match to that. So that'd be 5 matches right there. And then you could even, if you wanted to have a 6 one, a number 1 contenders match, there's a 6, or a grudge match, there's a 6 one, 7 one. You know, you can do it with that. You don't need. I don't want 4 matches across 2 hours. God no. And there's too many reasons for that. Number 1, trying to find talent that can go that long and make it look that good and be believable is problem A. Problem B is having the crowd invested in it enough that long of a match needs to occur and take place in the first place. Let's keep that in mind. The Trustbusters, Parker Boudreaux defeated Sonny Kiss. Ray Charles could have seen that coming. The heel turn at the end of the night was just dumb, but whatever. Okay. Everybody's got to be in a faction or you're not in AEW. That's how it goes. The Gun Club defeated Danhausen and Eric Redbeard. That was pretty good. I liked seeing Eric Redbeard again. Now, what was funny was after that, you had Billy Gunn get in the ring and fuss at the Ass Boys and then roll on from there. Let's see, Keith Lee said Private Party doesn't stand a chance, and they'll put the titles on the line against Private Party. Okay. Then you had the FTW champion come out he ended up being challenged by Zach Clayton, who's some reality TV guy, I guess. They're okay, cool. So they're gonna have a title defense on next week's Rampage with with virtually no build up, which is fine because the FTW title is not a recognized AEW belt. So either way. Now, what's going to be weird with that is if they start using it in the AEW video game. Yeah, keep that in mind too. Then you've also got the trios title coming up as well. Um, let's see here. Orange Cassidy versus Ari Davari. So he dropped the other parts of his name. Ari Davari. Okay. Looks like and Orange Cassidy won that match, which was cool. Then you had Sunny Kiss rundown, turn her back on Orange, and then Parker chokeslammed him. I get it, but at the same time, what are we doing here? It's one of those things, man, where you gotta make this shit make sense, show to show and day to day. There was the other kicker with that in my book. There was no hook on that show, and by that I'm not talking about Taz's kid. I'm talking about what's going to make me want to tune in next week with AEW. I'm losing it. Not that it had me real good anyway. The bait never was all that great to me. But when you're coming to shit like all these extra spots, all these extra people being involved, where is it? You got the steak, where's the sizzle? It's like indie shows, man. It's like indie shows where they just run to run or they just do shit to do shit. Nah, let's not just do shit to do shit. Let's do shit that makes sense. Let's do shit that makes money. Let's do shit that's got people talking, gets people invested. Scott Larson says it the best. Give me something to invest in. We're already invested, brother. We're talking about it. We talk about it. That's an investment. We pay for streaming services to do podcasts and shit. That's an investment. So you've already had something to invest in. Man, if anybody got anything they want to add about wrestling or you want to tell me I'm an asshole and I'm wrong and I'm just a loudmouth piece of shit, help yourself. Because if not, it's going to be an early day for your boy. And I'm not against that either. Um, the Wrestling Wire is doing the thing where we talk about the big leagues. We're trying to focus more on the televised product. Man, I'm excited because soon we've got Clash at the Castle coming up. There's the AEW show coming up. All these indie shows have got something extra going on. There's all kinds of new stuff going on with the indies. There's everything from bar shows and comic conventions to wrestling conventions and all this other shit. There's a ton of stuff going on out there, guys. And if you're not involved, you're not going to know what to do. I know I normally don't talk positive about AEW, but reality is I'm glad there's a place that hires people. The WWE can't hold every talent. The WWE is not going to be able to pick up every independent star that I know and use them to their best ability. So good on AEW, good on Impact, and good on the NWA. You're a place for some of my friends to go make money. So see, I support everybody. As long as they're getting paid. I support everybody. Either way, folks, does anybody else have anything they'd like to add for today's episode? Because I don't really want to go into the Vince drama shit, because guess what? I don't care. Until the judgments come out or the investigations are final, what's it going to matter to me? It's going to do what's it going to do to me? It's going to change anything for me? It's going to change anything for the indies? Probably not, because the indies are still going to support or work for or work under or hire the same people that they always have. Some of them, and this ain't all of them, man, but some of them know, man, there's pedophiles in our business. And I can call it our business now. There's pedophiles in this shit. There's sexual abusers in this shit. There's all these other garbage ass people in this industry. Why are you gonna? I'd love to be, in a conversation with one of those people where they're just downing Vince while paying or working for the same motherfucker. Just because he's a billionaire doesn't mean he's a fucking pastor. Or that ain't Pastor Clinton or Reverend Clinton, just like Chris Rock said 30 fucking years ago. That ain't Pastor McMahon or Reverend McMahon. He's just a man. It's when you put people on a pedestal above you, that's when you realize you messed up and you were trying to acknowledge somebody as being great. Not happening. Not it. Doesn't work that way, folks. Oh, Michael King. The garbage people in this industry are also found in every industry, including the church and the government. Aha! 100% agree. And here's the thing. My whole point of that, Mike, was if you're bold enough to speak out against Vince, then don't be that fucking promoter or booker or whatever that hires a shitbag and you know it. How's that? If you're so, oh my god, he stole company money. Let me go hire this guy who's been shady and shifty the last 20 fucking years and stole money from God knows what. You're stupid. People are winning their own Darwin Awards directly on this shit all the time. It's killing me. I can't stand people who think that, they think that this is all they're going to amount to. No, you're going to amount. You can write your own fucking ticket. You want to go do something different? Go do something different. You want to be somewhere else and be able to, achieve different levels of success. You got to put the fucking work into it. Matter of fact, that's the main reason I have to go early tonight because I have a business meeting to deal with later on today. Do you know why? Because I've worked my ass off and people recognize that. So therefore, conversations have to be had and meetings have to be taken care of. That's why shit is. That's why today's show, I mainly just wanted to cover the recap stuff. I didn't have too much to bullshit about because the other great thing about this industry is also the worst thing about this industry. You got your doers and then you got your talkers. You got the people who do shit and get shit done. Then you have the people who talk shit and talk about shit and cause drama and monotonous bullshit. So I make it simple. The job here is already done. Time for bullshit. It's just a time for bullshit. If we want to talk about something positive, we can. But realistically, ain't much I got left to say. So, folks, I hope you all enjoyed the show today. It's been a very short show, and rightfully so. There wasn't much to it. There wasn't much I needed to cover. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for being here. It's been real. It's been fun. Hell yeah, you know it. It's been real fun. I'll see you Thursday night for the Thursday Night Indie Spotlight, where we are going to be meeting with our good friend Jonathan Darwin. We're going to be talking about an event, a special charity event with him, Champions and HD. It's a disease thing. We're going to be talking about a disease and a charity, and I'm all about some charity shit. So catch me then, and we'll see you guys at the show. If you don't know what show to go to find me at, it's real simple. Follow my socials because it almost always says I'm going to be there. So thank you very much for attending. You guys have a great night. That was proclaimed.